Good evening, everyone. This is Littlefoot Nursery. It's Lynn. It's nighttime here as I'm filming this video, and I'm here with baby Zoe. I haven't shown her very much. I think I've just been so busy the last few weeks between work and painting, and then I still have, as of this filming, I still have not done my taxes, and that's kind of stressing me out. So I've been just like having to go through all of my PayPal and credit card statements, bank accounts, all of that to kind of figure out, you know, what my income was, and also like what were all my expenses. And so basically, yeah, with the taxes, you know, as of last year, I started my YouTube channel and I also started painting. And so I actually have a little bit of income from both YouTube as well as my painting. And then, but of course the expenses far outweigh the income, because for those of you guys who do not know, those of you guys who are US residents, I basically what I heard from Stephanie from In Love with Reborns 2011, we chatted about this at the doll show. This is basically a business, and it's reported that way on your taxes. And so anything related to your business, so for YouTube it would be, you know, what you're showing in your videos. So it could be the doll, it could be the clothing, that can all be counted as a business expense, which is pretty awesome considering, you know, how much we actually spend on this hobby. And then also on the reborning side, you know, all my supplies, you know, all of that stuff, kits, paints, tutorials, you name it, all of that is also a business expense. And I'm also, you know, I believe you can also write off like the Rose doll show, you know, costs and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's actually quite a lot of awesome. I'm not gonna be like writing off my meals and stuff at the Rose doll show, but just mainly the flight and accommodations. So yeah, anyway, it's something you guys should all like look into. I'm not a tax expert, so this is my big caveat, but it totally makes sense to me. And I think that hopefully in the future, you know, the income from YouTube and from painting, you know, will probably hopefully outweigh the expenses, you know, so we'll see. Anyway, I'm here with baby Zoe. I felt like it was high time that I change her into this outfit that she came with. It's just absolutely gorgeous, so beautiful, and I can't wait to see her in it. It's absolutely gorgeous. It came with her in the auction, and you know, it's so interesting. I like rarely, a lot of times the things that come with the babies, you know, the dolls, you know, when I get them, I oftentimes don't dress them in the outfits that they came in, but in Zoe's case, I happen to absolutely adore this sleeper that she came with, and also this dress. And so the dress is from Mothercare, and the sleeper, I am not sure. Let me see. I'll probably be able to tell you after I change her out of it. I think there's a tag on the side somewhere. So I'm gonna go ahead and change her. I'm gonna also chat about a topic that I thought would be good to talk about, and it's related to, like, you know, we all have talked about box openings and whether that can, you know, interfere with your ability to bond with a specific baby. And I would actually love to talk about, like, you know, the other things that could impact your bond with the baby, mainly the buying process. I thought it would be a really interesting topic to chat about. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this as well, and I'll share with you kind of my, you know, theory behind it, and I'd love to get your thoughts on this. But basically, so okay, so what are the different processes by which we can purchase a baby? One is direct a custom order from an artist. Okay, that's number one. Number two is, you know, I think I'm actually going to take off this this onesie now. The second way is via an eBay auction. The third way is just kind of buying a completed baby direct from the seller. A fourth way would be, you know, purchasing a doll secondhand. from another collector. And so I think those probably cover the main ways that we acquire a doll. Let me think about that. Custom order, eBay auction, just buying from the artist with a fixed price, or let me see here. Yeah, I think those are the main things. I think that pretty much covers it. So anyway, my thoughts around that are, this looks like it might be a little bit large on her, actually. Oh, this is so cute. Oh my goodness. Zoe is such a princess. Pardon me while I pause my topic here and button her up. Anyway, my theory is, you know, just like how box openings can really affect our bond with the doll, I think the buying process can as well. And I guess another kind of way, you know, method that's been coming up too is like more like a not a silent auction, but a closed bid auction, like on Facebook, for example, where you private message the seller like one bid, and then you don't know if you're going to win or not. And there's like a deadline to submit bids. So, oh my gosh, she looks beautiful in this. Oh my goodness. Hi, Zoe. Wow, don't you look like a princess? Oh, I love this dress on her. Oh, she's so gorgeous. Wow. This is so pretty on her. Okay, so anyway, with box openings, like we've talked about this before, where if it's a really, if the doll's shipped to you and, you know, it's like really like a bad box opening experience, that can really hinder your bond. Like if the doll is not well wrapped, if the doll arrives damaged, you know, if it's just not a pleasant experience, that can really hinder your bond for sure, and hinder how much you like the doll. I think that with regards to like purchasing a baby on eBay, I find it's not my favorite. I acquired Zoe by eBay. I'm so glad that I won her. But there's definitely a lot of anxiety, I think, for me with eBay auctions, because I could totally fall in love with a baby and then at the end just not get it. I could put in my highest bid and then somebody could outbid me, and then you're just like getting your hopes up and you're kind of hoping you'll win the baby, but then you don't, and then it's so disappointing. Or with eBay too, I think it could also be, situations could also arise where you're bidding and you get kind of carried away and you end up bidding higher than what you originally wanted to pay. And that's stressful too, because, you know, you may win the auction, you're like, oh shoot, now I have to pay for it. And then it may be just a financial burden to actually complete that transaction. And so when you get the baby back, you may be thrilled and love the baby, but you also may be feeling guilty for like how much money you spent. I think doing custom orders can also really affect your bond, because if it's a really good, if it's a bad experience where, you know, you feel like, you know, first of all, if it's just taken way too long, like just, you know, months and months beyond the timeline, you know, you anticipated getting the doll, it can affect your bond. Like you may have sort of moved on psychologically or emotionally. You may not want the doll as much as when you first started the custom order. Or if like it's like an unpleasant, you know, situation with the artist, you know, that can definitely affect your bond. On the positive side with customs, I think that if your artist is really sweet and, you know, you feel like there's a personal connection there beyond just you liking their work, I think you can actually really enhance your bond with the baby, or even consequently, like purchasing from another collector that you know, who knows you well. I was watching Erica's box opening of her new doll, Penelope, and it's a doll that she's wanted ever since she saw the baby first come out, and, you know, when she saw it on Stephanie's channel. She's now, I think, her fifth mommy. The doll's about 4 years old, and the lady who sold her to her basically knew that she really loved bunnies, and so she sent the baby home with all these bunny outfits, and it was so cute. And I think just those like little thoughtful touches that show that you're sending the baby home with care. And I guess that's kind of related to the box opening, but I think it all ties together. It's sort of like that dynamic with the seller, and sort of that relationship, I think can really impact the bond that you have with the baby. Like if you feel like it's been a good working relationship, or a good interaction, I think that definitely makes a big difference. So, and I know that there are, if there's a situation where like an artist in the community, I just felt like wasn't like a really nice person, it would be hard for me to bond with their work, personally, no matter how beautifully the doll was done. I think for me, the artist's personality is really important. And sometimes I just don't know the artist's personality. So all I can go off of is just our email interaction. And if that's fine, then great, So, but other times, you can just tell, or if somebody was great to work with, it's easier to have a bond, when you get the baby. Yeah. And then I think the other thing with auctions, the closed bid, or more private auctions, a lot of people are not a fan of, and this is where, a buyer basically just submits one bid, which is the price that they want to pay. And then the seller, then kind of compares all the bids and usually just goes with the highest bid. Now, the issue that I personally kind of have with the, closed auction is, I think that it can be easy to overpay in that situation. And for example, when you're bidding on eBay, and let's say the bid is at $500, and you know that you love that baby, you'd be willing to go up to $1,000. But do you want to automatically just pay $1,000 for that doll? No. If you can get that doll for $700 or $800 or some number that's less than your maximum bid, then that's what you're going to want to pay. But I think the problem with like a closed auction is like you have no idea what like if you are the winning bidder, you don't know what the second highest bid is. And I guess when, people are wanting to do an auction but not go through eBay, because let's face it, I mean, between eBay fees and PayPal fees, you're basically losing like 15% right off the top. eBay charges 10%. I think PayPal is 3%, but that's a lot, 13% right off the top. So I think a lot of people are trying to avoid eBay, but still kind of do like an auction format to make it kind of fair. And then lately too, we've been seeing like auctions. And Diana mentioned this on her video, Diana Reed, she mentioned this on her video about like how she, there's now like I guess silent, closed bidding to even get a spot to get a silicone doll painted. And I'm just like, and it's just like, so, yeah. And I think that a lot of us are just like, really, like, what is our hobby coming to? Like, why do we have to compete to get a baby these days? So I think for those artists who still offer a fixed price, who offer layaway, who offer, who are just great to work with, I personally, thank you guys. I try to be an artist like that myself. I'm not a high-end artist. I'm still more of an intermediate artist, and I charge a reasonable price on the lower side of the scale for my work, but I try to make it a good experience, working with my buyers and my customers, and I hope that they really feel the love that I put into each doll that I make, and that it's a good interaction, because I want them to bond. I want them to really love their baby and have a great experience. So yeah, those are just some of my thoughts. I just personally, you guys know, that that I really want Ella by Jenny Lee. I especially really want her Asian Ella, but I'm almost starting to feel like maybe, somebody suggested, why don't you PM her to see if she would be willing to sell her privately? And I thought, the chances of that are probably pretty low, because she's been putting all of the babies up pretty much for auction, except for, I guess, a couple cases where a couple ladies offered to pay her like a really high price, and she did do custom orders for them. And that's not going to be in the cards for me to offer like a really high price. And so, so we'll see what happens, you know, if, you know, if she does decide to do, you know, auction, or, you know, whether it's closed or on eBay, I'll probably give it a shot. But it's just hard. Like, you don't know what to offer if it's like a closed auction, and if it's on eBay, my worry there is I'll probably almost certainly get beat out, because I'm just not willing to go to the crazy high dollar amounts. Like, I think for me, I think about like Maggie and baby Lynn, and, you know, I just don't see myself going like that high again for a baby. It's just not in the cards right now with my budget. And so I don't know. So part of me, it's like, I don't know emotionally how to feel about wanting that doll. Like, you know, it's almost easier to try to say, okay, I'm going to try not to really think about it and try not to want the baby that much, because I don't want to set myself up for disappointment, I guess. I don't know if any of you guys feel that way too, like, especially when it comes to like auctions, and if you see a doll that you really like. Oh, and I had a bit of an emotional roller coaster. I actually bid, I never bid on prototype babies, you guys, mainly because those prices get pretty astronomical. But I really did love Jacqueline Kramer's prototype Layla Awake, which is the Realborn from Bountiful Baby. It's the Asian baby, but it's the Awake version. I absolutely love Layla, or Lila Asleep, and was like, wow, she did a beautiful job on the Awake version. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to bid. And I think I put in, I think I was the second highest bidder. So I bid like in the last, like, you know, 15, 20 seconds of the auction. And I was the highest bidder for like, oh, I don't know, maybe 5 seconds. And then very last, at the very, very last second, you know, I think must have been somebody who had sniped the auction. You know, I was outbid, and, you know, I think I had set my limit at 1,500 or something like that, which is honestly way more than I would, you know, typically pay for a vinyl Reborn. But I got outbid, and I was like, ah. Oh. So it was sort of like that emotional roller coaster where I was so excited that I was going to win this baby. Also a little bit like, oh my gosh, what have I done? Like, this price is so high. And then when I didn't win, like this weird mixture of feelings of like disappointment, but also maybe a little bit of relief, because I was like, okay, well, you know, it's probably good that I didn't spend that money anyway. So, by the way, let me show you guys Zoe's back. But all this to say, I have absolutely bonded with Zoe. I absolutely love her. She's gorgeous in this dress, but she's been kind of like my cuddle baby, and you know, dresses are not super cuddly, so I actually, you know, now that I'm looking at her like this, I might actually change her into like another outfit. Yeah, I think I will actually do that, come to think of it, just because I love her to be in something more, I like her in a sleeper just to be a little bit more cuddly. So, yeah, I think I'm going to put her in another outfit, as much as I love this dress, and I think she's so gorgeous in it. Wow, she just looks like an angel in this dress. She's so beautiful. But I think I am going to change her. I'm going to put her in this duck sleeper by Gymboree. It was part of my haul. I just think it'll look really cute on her. And I like that it has a hat too, because I think for babies who are bald or have painted hair, it's great to have, okay, hold on here. Let me see if I can just turn her to the side and unbutton her that way. Yeah, that's easier. And I didn't actually end up reweighting her at all, you guys. I know I was thinking about doing that when I got her, but yeah, I ended up deciding just to kind of keep her as is, mainly because, you know, I think she's, it's actually nice kind of having a baby that's a little bit lighter weight, and I just thought, and I think she's a baby that I would consider taking out. And I know I keep talking about wanting to work up the nerve to take a baby out, and I just still haven't quite gotten there yet. So, and part of it is just feeling so busy. Like when yeah, I feel like it's even hard for me finding the time to do videos lately. And I went through a period of time too recently. I haven't been watching as much YouTube. just because I've gotten a little bit hooked on, I don't know if you guys watch this show, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, it's on Netflix, and it's on the CW, I think. Not 100% sure which network it's on, but I've gotten a little bit hooked on that show. So I've been binge watching that show whenever I have time. I'm towards the end of season 2. And so yeah, so that's been a fun show. And of course, some of my other favorites like Jane the Virgin, which you guys should all go check out. I just watch it on replay on the CW. But that's a really great show. And they also have the old seasons on Netflix. It's awesome. It kind of seems a little bit silly and soap opera-y at first, but it's really a deep show, and the actors and actresses are so good on that show. So if you haven't checked it out, you definitely should. I highly recommend it. Oh, Zoe's so adorable. You guys, I just love this baby. And I really like how this outfit can be gender neutral. So either a girl or a boy can wear it. I think it's awesome. And I love little ducky. So I'm putting her in this white and yellow sleeper, and it has like ducks all over it. So anyway, so yeah, but I know I talked about a bunch of things. Oh, her head's a little small for this hat, but she still looks so cute. Here, let me try to turn it a little bit. Oh, what do you guys think? Is she not adorable? Hi. Uh-oh. Yeah, your hat keeps coming off, though, Pumpkin. Oh. Oh, she's still darling, though. Oh, my goodness. Hey. Here, let me put her down. Okay, so you guys can see her. Yeah, this is coming off, though, this hat. But yeah, now she's back to her snuggly self. So anyway, yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts on, you know, the topic I brought up. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. And please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also the bell, because the bell will tell you when I have new videos out. I don't post every single day, but I do post, I sometimes have a streak where I'll post daily for a while. But I usually have several videos a week that come up each week. Usually like maybe 4 on average or something like that. So yeah, don't miss a video, and thank you so much for tuning in. Have an awesome night. And Zoe says, bye, aunties. All right. Take care. Bye.